if I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home.
Alright, here we go. The top 10 Smackdown moments for December 4, 2020.
You had the opportunity to work alongside Natalya as part of the Women's Survivor Series team. Have you learned anything from Natalya? Oh, how about this? Looking for the sharpshooter.
They actually gave Natalya a victory.
Dragging Bayley back middle of the ring. Bianca Belair now mocking Bayley.
So with Bianca's glasses, boy, I think she could only pull that off. She's the only one that can pull that off.
TLC. And let's not stop there, Roman.
That's gonna be a good match.
You are the head of the table, or so
Physical.
you claim. Let's get a table in there. Let's get a ladder. Let's get some chairs. Put that title on the line, and you and I settle this like men.
Keep calling out his manhood. It's like.
Did not work out too well. Oh! I don't think anyone really expected it to.
This is like what they do live shows, you know, where they always put somebody through the ringer. Everybody gets a move on them.
Oh no, this couldn't have
Yeah,
gone
it's like
worse.
the way it,
Still wanna be there. 619
you know.
for Mysterio.
Of course, this was the Pat Patterson tribute match, so.
The big ending.
Dolph overselling as usual.
I'm superior in every way, and you.
I don't know about that.
You look at me, you see the hot chick, eye candy, every man's desire. Not the competitor like you. Well, guess what, Sasha? I'm the hot chick that's not only gonna embarrass you, I'm gonna take your title.
Don't know about that.
Finally, you wonder when this was going to happen. The attack now on Mysterio and Dominic. And Murphy realizing the situation is ready.
Oh man.
Lord, Murphy going right after Cutler.
Was that the Forgotten Sons are forgotten now? I guess. Gonna punish Jackson Riker because of his religious beliefs. That's the reason why he's not on TV anymore. Stupid, man.
His henchmen pay off with the win over Murphy.
I guess it could be a good compliment to what do you call it, to King Corbin.
Punch to Otis.
And Otis was gone. He didn't even come back for this match.
The announce table. And again, the viciousness of Reigns. You can see the fury in the eyes of the head of the table. Now Otis sent across into the steps now. Otis's luck is going to go from bad to even worse. Oh, inside cradle by Daniel Bryan. Bryan, shoulders down, hooks the leg out.
Should have counted. I should have counted how many matches were ended in a roll-up. Roll-up pin. No?
Uso went for the kick. Kevin Owens now. Starter to Jey Uso. Oh no. Kevin Owens for the win here tonight. Roman Reigns breaking things up. Reigns now locking in the guillotine. And the official's going to call for the bell, but Roman Reigns doesn't give a damn. Roman Reigns with a guillotine locked in on Kevin Owens.
The guillotine, boy. Lethal, man. That's a deadly move, man.
May be out cold. That could very well happen at TLC if Kevin Owens taps out or loses consciousness. Roman will still be your Universal Champion. Oh my goodness.
Hey, who was saying, oh my god? Was that the referee? Or was that Paul Heyman? I thought it was KO. I go, is it KO saying that?
What do I have to tell you every time, huh? I have to
Damn.
repeat myself.
He's back to punishing his cousin like he did before. Does it mean they're still together? I don't know. Probably.
Tonight we pay tribute to a man who touched our hearts.
All through the damn show, and it was great. I loved it.
Through his incredible mind.
It's probably even more than any of the other guys they've ever did to her. I mean, they did,
Join us in a moment of
you know,
silence.
tributes like this for Eddie and for Chris and Benoit, unfortunately, but, you know. I like this. This is the #1 moment. It's great. He deserved it. Pat Patterson did a lot for this company that a lot of people don't know about. I was first introduced to him as a stooge, you know, of Vince McMahon along with John Briscoe. And you remember that, yeah, he had a career. He was a wrestler, first Intercontinental Champion. And that's how Raw opened with a 10-bell salute to Pat Patterson. And all I thought was like, why was WWE showing the Thunderdome LED screens with all those of the people who weren't even reacting to what was going on? They weren't really doing anything. Why show them? You know, I understand when it's a real crowd, when it's a live crowd, and you see them with their hands over their hearts, standing with their heads down. The people at home, they're just looking at the screen, like this. Some people waving their hands, like, you know. And I just love how throughout the entire program they were showing tweets from superstars about Pat Patterson, showing some highlights and some vignettes and some video packages. There's that one main one where you hear "My Way" being sung. He's singing it. That was really great. And you realize just how much of an impact he had on the superstars in WWE. And really amazing. A really great career, and rest in peace, Pat Patterson. Now, Roman Reigns, he opens the show for a segment, then he's interviewed by Killer Braxton. Roman Reigns, along with his cousin Jey Uso, is going to face KO and Otis in the main event. Now, Reigns got new merch in a t-shirt that says "Head of the Table." I won't be getting that shirt, but looks good. He's keeping the whole tribal chief thing going. New merch, why not? Now, what happened last week? Asked KO. KO does not fear him. Reigns avoids KO. Does he fear KO? Kayla doesn't rate as far as Reigns is concerned, and she asks a dumb question, and she asks, is Reigns manipulating his cousin? Well, Roman breaks it down his cousin's fortunes for the last weeks, as he has been in the main event for the last 5 weeks in a row, and that's true. KO comes out and wants to take batters to Reigns, and Jay runs his mouth. KO says he doesn't want to talk to the busboy, and KO wants to settle things at TLC with the Universal title on the line. Reigns accepts, and there is a time and a place for everything. And that KO actually call Reigns a bitch, because KO says to Reigns, yeah, you may be a gentleman, but he just proved that you weren't. Now, Bayley faces the VORE next. But backstage, we see Roman and Jay share a moment and calms down his pissed off cousin backstage and reminds him that actions have consequences. Now, the match between Bayley and Natalya, and Bayley taps to the BORE. And wow, talk about an upset, because how many times does Natalya win cleanly, and how often? Now, 1979 was the first ever, was when the first ever IC champ was crowned in a tournament in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. You know, they crowned a new Intercontinental, the first ever Intercontinental champion, I believe. The titles, there was like 2 titles, and they merged them and became the Intercontinental title. And I was been thinking, like, you know, they show the very belt that Pat Patterson had, and I'm like, well, why not relive it? I mean, revive it in honor of Pat. You know, it's a very, very simple, plain, not as glorious or, you know, really well done as they make them now, because it was just pretty much just a basic thing. Because a lot of the belts back then, they didn't go all, they weren't all about fancy, you know, designs and stuff like that. But it's classic. It's a classy looking belt. A little history in behind it. Maybe just for a period of time, someone wear it as the Intercontinental Champion. I mean, Sami Zayn, a fellow Canadian, you know, with Pat Patterson, so you would think that he would be like, oh, no, I'm gonna take that belt and I'm gonna wear it in honor of Pat. Now, 6-man tag match, a Pat Patterson tribute match, with all men being former IC champs, and the current one being Sami Zayn. And Biggie coming out to new music, and he does that whole thing where he puts his hands in that all that powder that guys use before they lift. He's slapping his hands together like the old Big E, and I really didn't hear the music that clearly. I don't know if it was like a hybrid of his old music, but I can get behind it. You gotta get him away from the thing, from the new day music and all that stuff. If he's going to be a competitor, a contender, a singles competitor, get away from the New Day crap. Now he joins Rey Mysterio and Daniel Bryan, and they face Zayn, Nakamura, and Zayn in a series of pin attempts between Bryan and Zayn. And then Bryan is the one that ends up rolling them up for a pinfall victory, and the victory for his team. And importantly, he wins over Sami Zayn. So this may put Daniel Bryan in the driver's seat to get that Intercontinental title shot that he wants. And then Ziggler gets the treatment of being hit with finishers, signatures, all kinds of moves of his opponents. This is something like I said in the video, while watching the video, I said this is something that they do in live shows. They'll have somebody pretty much sacrifice himself, and he takes every move from every wrestler that's in the ring. And you see Dolph like overselling like he always does. More so in this for this segment. It's like a little bit much, you know. Now, KO, he made a bold choice and challenged Reigns for the TLC match with the Universal title on the line, and he used to respect Roman Reigns. You've seen it go away and wonders why, but he and Otis will be in tag team action later. You know, he explained why Roman did when he came back. And, you know, we all know why. And it's time for KO to try to stop the reign of Roman Reigns and become the new Universal Champion at TLC. Now, Carmella and the Smackdown Women's Champ are up for an interview and are separated at separate locations. Now, Sasha's throwing shade at Carmella, but she does give props to her. Carmella thinks she is in Sasha's league, but Sasha doesn't. Is she better than Sasha? Superior in talent, work ethic, and being a better champ. While Sasha says that Carmella has never been with a better bitch than me, and even challenged her to a match for the title at TLC. The champion challenging the challenger. Let's see what happens at TLC. Now, Murphy goes one-on-one with Corbin in a rematch from last week where he lost. Now, the King said last week that he would be prepared this week, and what does that mean? What does he mean by that? Well, he is accompanied by 2 bruisers in suits, and who are they? It is revealed that they are the former Forgotten Sons. So it looks like the Forgotten Sons are now forgotten, as Wesley Blake and Steve Cutler are clean-shaven, but they still are a deadly duo. Like I said, what happened to Jackson Riker? Jackson Riker said some things. He's a very religious guy. and he said some things, political things, I believe, and that's the reason why they took him off. Now Jackson Riker's not coming back. Is it because of his beliefs? Is it because of things he says on Twitter, which is not even controversial in the least? But in this day and age, everybody's sensitive. But he doesn't deserve that because he's a great talent. I think that Jackson Riker needs to be on TV at least. Maybe he's been on Main Event. I don't know. I don't watch that show or Superstars. But they do show that they are a deadly duo by taking out the Mysterios. We're laying them out anyway. And then he leaves Murphy to take chase after them. He ends up running into an end of days, and Murphy is pinned, and Corbin is victorious and does get that retribution and that little bit of payback from last week. Now the blue collar brawler, Otis and KO in the main event, taking on the head of the table, Reigns, and his cousin Jay. The consequence for Jay seems to be for him to go at it alone in a handicap match. But it didn't last as Roman does come out to partner with his cousin. But Reigns bypasses the tag and Superman punches Otis and destroys him ringside with steel steps, anything he can get his hands on. And the tables have turned as Otis was taken out, and now it's a handicap match with the advantage for Roman and Jay. And it's funny because Jay was telling KO he talks too much while he was in the ring. And then he ends up talking too damn much, and he misses a hip attack, and he eats a cannonball. And then hear Roman say that it's my show, I finish the show. And as Jay is hit with a stunner, Roman draws a DQ by locking in the guillotine, and he puts KO to sleep. And then 10 chair shots to KO between the Jay and Roman, and a splash by Jay onto KO with a steel chair draped across his body there. Then Roman delivers chair shots to Jay. I'm saying, like I said, I go, is Jay going to be in the doghouse, if you will, with Roman? Is this a separation, or is this just a way to keep him in line as a subservient, person to the tribal chief? I don't think that Jay is going to be gone, or he's going to, turn on. I mean, become a babyface again, and then challenge, Roman again. I think it's just the way for him to stay and be kept in line, and Jay knows his place, and he takes whatever Roman gives him. But you have another Sunday, one more Sunday, and then next week we'll be having TLC. And this Sunday is also Tribute to the Troops, and it's also the same day that NXT has their takeover War Games. So I was wondering, it's going to be a pretty packed day for WWE. But as far as SmackDown, the overriding theme of it was the tribute to Pat Patterson, which I loved. I thought that was great. The show was good. I love the main event. Roman Reigns continuing to be the heel that we all just love to hate, although we love him at the same time. It's one of those things. But things are being set up. Things are going along, and as we head on the road to TLC. I think they got some great matches lined up, and it's going to be a decent pay-per-view. We'll see. Like I said, I enjoy SmackDown, and we'll see what happens next week, and the fallout after TLC next week as well. So those of you who stopped by and checked out my video, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.